All right, let's talk about it. So recently I took a vacation with my fiance Kyle and his family to California, and it was really nice. Like, it was probably the most relaxed that I've been on a vacation in a really long time. Usually I feel like whenever I've taken time off, especially since I've started my business, I haven't really been able to like fully step away from what I'm doing. And so I wanted to make this video for you. Like, if you are in this place where you're struggling to find a way to take a time off without feeling like you're going to be missing a lot of stuff, or it stresses you out too much because you have too many clients to worry about while you would be away, check out this video. So the purpose of this video is to give you kind of like a 5-step process, is what I'm calling it, to help you figure out how to take a vacation and take time off in order to recharge, fully relax, and get some perspective and kind of like zoom out and think about your business while you're away. I know that whenever I take time off, it's always like a really good time for me to kind of reflect on what I've been doing and how it's been going, how I feel about it, figure out like if there are any big projects or big challenges coming up that I want to tackle. By stepping away and stepping out of the day-to-day and taking time off or taking a vacation, it can really be helpful in kind of like recharging myself moving forward. So the first few steps that I wanted to talk about today are just really kind of basic to give you an idea of what you can do and what you can control going into some time off to help you feel better prepared to take that time off and also feel like things are going to run smoothly while you're gone. And then when you come back, also kind of have a smooth transition between that time off into getting back into your day-to-day and running a successful business. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about here is kind of like the basic of just like planning a vacation. I have found that it's been most helpful for me if I can plan my time off at least 30 days in advance, so at least a month ahead of time, because then it gives me a few weeks to kind of reflect on the upcoming steps that I'm going to share with you, but also talk to my clients and talk to the people that I'm working with and let them know that I'm going to be away for a certain amount of time, and figure out like what all of us need to do in order to get prepared for that, and what to expect while I'm gone. Say that you are planning on taking a vacation, around the holiday time at the end of this year. Now is a really good time. I'm filming this in September, but a few months ahead of time is a really good time to look ahead at your calendar and think about what you might be doing. And we'll talk about in a second, we can start to block off a few days or a few weeks in your calendar so that the space and time is available for you to take time off. And then of course, like, your travel plans can always change, but at least you're starting to kind of plan ahead and look at things on your calendar. And this was really helpful for me. Like, this recent vacation I took, it's been in my calendar for probably like 6 months or so now, which I know is like a long time. You don't have to plan that far ahead, but it's been in my calendar for months. And so as the vacation approached and I got closer to the time that I would be leaving, and I started to book out clients, I knew to skip that week. And I know it sounds really simple, but I've definitely double booked myself before, and that is kind of a stressful situation to be in. So just by like assigning your time and blocking out that time in your calendar, it's going to save you from having to reschedule people that you might have scheduled by accident. So this first step, just kind of looking ahead, looking at your calendar, looking at when you want to take time off and starting to block it out so that you do have the time available. And I wanted to just say one quick thing. I'm kind of using the terms time off and vacation interchangeably, because like it might be like an actual vacation or a trip that you're planning to go on, or it might just be time off. If you want to take time off, like for me, I work mainly at home, and if I wanted to take like a 3-day weekend, take some time off, I totally could do that. Even though I'm not really like leaving my workspace necessarily, I would still follow the same process, and then it would still help me with creating kind of a plan and boundaries for that time off so that it best serves me. Step number 2 is we are going to be talking about what to do before you take your time off or take your vacation. And then we're also going to be talking about what to do during and what to do after as well. well. So before your vacation, the main things that you should be focusing on, the first thing that I would recommend doing is doing a like total brain dump. You know, say your vacation is a month from now, you know, pull out a sheet of paper or a Google Doc or something like that, a notepad, and just write out everything that you feel like is on your mind that you think you need to get done prior to your time off, and just complete brain dump, write everything out that you could think might need to get done before you leave. And then the next thing that you're going to do is go through that list and take a look at what actually needs to get done, what you could potentially pass off to somebody else, what could be deferred until you get back from your time off, or anything that could just be like completely deleted. Like you thought originally you might need to do it, but then it turns out you don't actually need to, and you can just do that. And then this is like kind of a bonus that I know a lot of people recommend when putting together these brain dump and to-do lists, is if you go through that list and there's anything on there that takes you less than 2 minutes to do, just go ahead and do it and just get it off the list completely, and it's done while you're kind of in that like planning session, and that will help decrease the load that you have on yourself in the upcoming few weeks. Then once you have organized your list by do, delegate, defer, and delete, then you can start plugging things away, put them in your calendar. This is a topic for another video, but we can use time blocking and actually put the due tasks in our calendar so that there is time to make sure that you get everything done before you leave for your time off. And then the last thing that you are going to do as you're kind of planning your time up until your vacation and your time off is you are going to take the day before you leave also off. That is going to be a day where you are not going to do any client appointments, you're not going to do any meetings with anybody. It's just a day to kind of wrap up loose ends, get together any like admin stuff, respond to messages, do anything that you need to do before you leave, so that when you do leave, everything is good to go, you know how everything is functioning, and you are ready for your vacation and for your time off. I have definitely tried working the day before and the day of a vacation, thinking that I could do it, and typically, unless it's some kind of like weird, unusual circumstance, I don't anymore, because it just stressed me out a bunch, and then I ended up, you know, rushing to get ready. We end up leaving late, and it's just like not a good time. Give yourself that little extra buffer, both before and we'll talk about after as well, because it will really like save you and also like help make the transition between like work life to vacation a lot smoother, and then on the back end from vacation to work life again. So give yourself the time. We're going to jump to what to do after vacation as the next step. Like I just mentioned, I would really highly suggest having that extra buffer day on the back end of your vacation. So say that you are planning to return home on a Saturday, I would make sure to give yourself that Sunday off as well, where it's just like a low pressure day, you know, you can sleep in, kind of like bum around the house or whatever it is, and get yourself back into gear for the upcoming work week. You know, you might need to put away anything that you brought with you on your trip, do any like chores around the house, and just kind of get yourself back into the mindset of being home again and not on vacation or not on your time off. And that buffer, just like the one before your time off, will really help a lot. And I think in the future I might even have like 2 days that I put aside after my time off, just because like then I'm really not in a rush, and I can really make sure that like I'm in a good mindset moving forward to work with my clients. And then speaking of mindset, I would also suggest for yourself, what I've kind of done for myself is looking at the week that you get back and looking at it as a catch-up week, a client week where you just focus on working with your clients, with your patients, and just like slowly easing back into it. And don't take on like any new or big projects the immediate week after you get back from your time off, because I think like, at least for me, it's been really difficult to like get the motor going again, kind of get motivated and get back into it. And so if I have any big projects coming up or things that I want to start once I get back from my time off, I will plan for them to start the week after the week I get back, if that makes sense. And then that way I can enjoy what I'm doing, you know, and not feel super rushed about it. And then the last couple pieces here, you know, the first being what to do during vacation. So this is sometimes a question that I get. I know I've wondered it before as well, is like how available should I be while I'm on my time off? Should I be doing any work while I'm on vacation? And I think the question, as always, is it depends. I know for me, I don't like to do any work while I am on vacation. I don't want to work on any projects. I don't want to work on any content. I don't want to do anything, but I will respond to messages from my clients, specifically text messages, just like quick questions here and there, checking in with them, just seeing how things are going. But I will not respond to emails or social media messages, you know, unless like we're not really doing much and I might just want to like check out my Instagram messages or something. But I put that boundary in place because if I leave my clients, you know, for an entire week, say like the vacation that I just went on, and I have messages from them that are sitting unread, I don't personally really like that. It stresses me out and it creates kind of like these open loops in my brain of, oh, I need to get back to this person and this person and this person. And so with that, I will respond to my clients, you know, whenever I get a chance on vacation. And I do set expectations with my clients, which is something I highly recommend doing. Kind of a pro tip with that is prior to you going on your time off or your vacation, letting everybody know how available you're going to be and what to expect, I think will really help set you up for success. Clients are used to hearing from you regularly and then they don't for an entire week, and you didn't really let them know beforehand what was going to be happening. They might be kind of confused. But if you set up those expectations and everything, then everything will run smoothly. So that's kind of what I recommend and what I recommend doing. I know some people will just like completely turn off and, like I said, set those expectations with the people they're working with, but I don't like that. So I do like a little bit, but not a ton. If you have questions on that, please let me know in the comments or let me know what you plan to do. And then for any open loops, this is a concept that I got from the book Getting Things Done by David Allen. He talks about kind of like open loops causing stress. So like if in your mind you're managing like a lot of thoughts and ideas and you don't have anywhere to store them, it can get really overwhelming. And so like while you're on vacation, while you're away, if you have a lot of like thoughts and ideas or messages to respond to, it gets to be like a lot of open loop, and I don't like that. I know that stresses me out. And so I'd also recommend having a like note on your phone, a to-do list, something somewhere where as you're having ideas, thoughts, and coming up with like tasks or projects you want to do while you're away, you have somewhere safe that you can store them and come back to them after your time off. And then that way, you know, you aren't too bothered by trying to like get anything done or remember anything when you are on your time off, and then they're all there for you when you back. And one thing that I do recommend is you can find different app blockers for your phone and your computer, but specifically for your phone, that will like kind of like lock you out of any apps that you don't want to be active on. So for me, I use an app called App Block, and it blocks my social media and my email on my phone. And so like at certain times you can set up like different profiles. Then that way while I'm away, I can turn that profile on and it won't let me look at the things that I'm trying to set boundaries on. So just a quick tip on that. And last thing, you know, this whole video is really about working on setting up your own boundaries. And the more that you plan for them, the more successful you can be in setting expectations for yourself, with yourself, and also with anybody that you are working with. And I do want to just note here that your boundaries are completely up to you. You know, I like might recommend having these partial individual boundaries depending on what you're doing. You might be somebody who really benefits from like completely blocking everything out, or you might be somebody who can go on vacation and also still be working at the same time and feel totally fine. But if you are somebody who has struggled with this in the past, I would definitely suggest trying out these few steps here and seeing like how it feels for you and seeing if it helps. And I'd love to hear about it a little bit more down in the comments. So to just kind of review, the first thing is going to be planning. So taking a look at your calendar and figuring out when, where, how, who you are going to take time off or take a vacation. You're going to figure out what you are like needing to do prior to your vacation, add that buffer day, what you need to do after vacation, have a buffer day on the back end, and decide on the boundaries that you are going to put into place while you're on vacation, and really stick with those boundaries. Help yourself, again, kind of have that time to recharge, reflect, gain some perspective, and come up with some brand new ideas to help you run a successful practice and a successful business. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to comment down below. Come visit me on Instagram at Dr. Morgan Meese. Feel free to come check out our Facebook group. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe if you want more content just like this, and click the like button if this was helpful for you.